You're watching the ACC on ESPN as conference play tips off from Miami between the home team Hurricanes and the NC State Wolfpack. Hi everyone, alongside former Hurricanes head coach Perry Clark, I'm Jay Alter. Happy to have some basketball back tonight. I know these two teams feel the same way. It's been over a week since they played, and fortunately both teams have one guy they can really count on to light the fuse and get going tonight.
Without question, NC State has Mr. Sebron, and he makes you play the game his way in the paint. Whether or not he's scoring, rebounding, or assisting, he really dominates the game, and Miami has to keep him out of the paint. Mr. McGusty is the key for Miami. He plays with poise. He reads what you give him and takes advantage of it, and he includes the other players on Miami's team.
Now, Miami has one of the best scorers in the ACC in Cam McGusty. The Hurricanes are the home white. NC State in red. Our officials tonight, Jamie Lucky, Ramey Steins, and Jerry Heater. In a wide-open ACC, this is a game both teams feel like they should win as we are underway, and the home team Miami starts with the basketball. Hurricanes come in on a 5-game winning streak, but this is only their second game in 17 days. They hope to keep the winning ways and a strong start to the season going tonight.
And a lot of coaches don't know how their team will react after a layoff, and they're really concerned about that as this is affecting everybody throughout the country.
What would you tell your team coming in off a layoff to try and get going, especially when you're coming off a layoff from a winning streak?
Well, I think the biggest thing is let's keep doing what we were doing. Let's not change anything and get in practice where we want to be and the tempo we want to play at so we don't get off our game.
So Miami's going to have to try and continue the winning ways without Sam Wardenberg tonight. Out of the starting lineup in COVID protocol.
That will affect them some, but Miami does a really good job of spacing and shooting the ball from the perimeter in transition.
Now that's where the Hurricanes could be hurt tonight. Inside, Wardenberg, a great interior defender. A great look from NC State for their first bucket, can't get it. Attacking the rack, putting it up and in, Cam McGusty, and that's exactly the guy Miami's going to rely on tonight.
Without question, that's what I said at the open. He really reads what was there. That time he had a slot drive. He took advantage of it and finished at the rim.
Taking a look at the Wolfpack starting 5. What's the recipe for an NC State win tonight?
Well, I think defensive pressure and mixing their defenses and then attacking in transition. So they really do a good job, the Wolfpack do, as getting to the rim.
Charged down by Charlie Moore. Backdoor wide open, and an easy finish for McGusty, who's got 4 of the Hurricanes' 5 to start.
And that's what I'm talking about, the spacing. They're in a 4-out set, and they look for back cuts. They look for dribble handoffs, and what they're trying to do is get the ball in the paint in the scoring area without passing it necessarily, but by doing it off the dribbles or by doing it off the back cuts.
5 seconds to shoot. Cam Hayes, step back 3, blocked. Miami's locked in defensively to start tonight. The Wolfpack start 0 for their first 3 possessions.
That's one of the things that people have played Miami that have given them credit for, their perimeter defensive pressure. They think their guards, Miami guards, do a really good job of taking away what you want to do offensively with their defensive pressure.
There's Jim Larinaga, 11 seasons at Miami. Closing in, a win tonight would be 680 in his career.
He's a veteran coach. He's seen everything, and he carries himself like he's done that, like he's seen everything. He's always poised.
And after a couple of seasons where Miami's just been battered and bruised in the injury department, finally feels like they've started on the front foot, riding a 5-game winning streak into tonight. But a tall task in conference now with having only played 1 game in 17 days to try and pick up where they left off.
You know, what we just saw there is very important. For NC State, they have to get the ball to the rim. I think defensively they have to disrupt by changing their defenses and what they just got off of the last play, offensive rebounds. For Miami, they have to keep the ball out of the paint. But NC State's going to hit them with a lot of ball screens. They're going to have to be sharp on their coverage and find the shooters in transition because NC State loves to live off of transition.
Yeah, Kevin Keats' team is feasted on offensive rebounding, and with Sam Wardenberg out of the lineup, an already thin Miami front court gets even more fragile. Here's Helms, puts it up, no good. Gets his own rebound, though, goes up strong, absorbs the contact, and gets it to go.
And again, offensive rebounding. NC State does a really good job. They do not play with the low post player. And Nellums, who acts like a 4, he really comes up and goes to the corner, or he plays at the top of the key looking for his jump shot.
Wolfpack have forced back-to-back turnovers. Straight to the rack in attack mode, everything but the finish from Sebron. Miami has a 3-on-1. Moore pulls the trigger and hits it. Charlie Moore delivers.
I tell you, when he played in the Big East, people feared him in transition. He just does a really good job off the dribble. He's very clever and very smart.
Moore has bounced around. Started in the Pac-12 at Cal, then Kansas. Then you mentioned the Big East with DePaul as fourth and final school, Miami, and he's been getting it done.
And you see right there, because of the way NC State plays, sometimes they're out of balance in defensive transition because they look to penetrate so much, and a lot of teams take advantage of them for not having floor balance because of how they play offensively sometimes.
Dane Dak making his first start of the season. He's only played a season high of 6 minutes. So he's already logged 4 tonight in place of Wardenberg. That's a deep 3 off the front rim, no good. Tried to keep it in bounds. Miami doubling up NC State early, 8-4. We're just getting started at South Florida. Well, all eyes will be on the Hard Rock Stadium Friday night, about 30 minutes from here. Georgia and Michigan in a college football playoff semifinal. Alabama and Cincinnati is first. Friday, all about the college football playoffs. But tonight in Miami, Hurricanes trying to get an ACC win against NC State. Perry Clark, former Hurricanes head coach. Jay Alter with you.
Jay, we have to watch. Miami likes to score out the out of bounds. There's some coaches just like to get it in. Jim Larinaga likes to make people pay on the out of bounds, as they just did there.
He certainly did. Jordan Miller, the transfer out of George Mason, wide open for 3. NC State struggling to start this game. 2 of 10, just 20% from the field.
Well, one of the things Miami is doing to create that is they're jamming the lane. They're not allowing anyone, they're getting a lot of help, and they're not allowing anybody really to drive. And as I say that, Nellums has a baseline drive, but for the most part, they're really coming over and what we call stunning to slow the guy with the ball up so he has to pass.
Helms has 4 of the Wolfpack 6. Here's Isaiah Wong. Puts NC State through the spin cycle and draws the foul. You were talking about how effective Jim Larinaga is off the inbounds. Let's take another look.
Yeah, he runs the action. He gets on a pin down right there, and Miller is able to knock down the 3. And a lot of times teams just want to stop you from getting the ball in, and they're not really trying to stop you from scoring. And veteran coaches want to make them keep pressure on them and try to score off of it.
As a coach, it makes you smile when all those hours in practice and shoot around pay off with a perfectly designed play like that.
It really does. And there's some coaches like Jim Larinaga that really do a really good job of that.
Well, Isaiah Wong, preseason first team All-ACC. I mean, Miami's just been gutted by injuries the last couple of seasons. It's forced Wong to grow up fast. He had a big burden as a underclassman for Jim Larrañaga.
I tell you, I've watched this young man play AAU and through his career, and he has really matured. His ability to mix, getting other people involved and still get his points is not an easy thing for guards to be able to do, and yet he's been able to master that here at Miami.
Now he's got some help with Charlie Moore and Cam McGusty healthy in the backcourt with him. NC State, when they get into the paint, that has been the success.
They really like to drive the basketball, and they use a lot of false motion and action to get you out of position so that they can get you on an isolation drive.
Here's McGusty.
One of the things that you see, Miami is extended a little bit further than I think they really want to be. That's when they start going to their dribble handoff to create the driving lanes instead of just trying to make entry passes to the wing or to the post.
Once again, getting into the lane, got a great look, just couldn't get the finish. An offensive rebound, though. That's something to watch tonight. Already 4 for the Wolfpack. Pull up pop, it's good. Thomas Allen buries his second bucket of the game, and NC State just like that, back within 2.
Well, you're going to get those shots the way Miami is defensively playing the dribble penetration because they're really coming off and trying to help. Yeah, and there you see the drive and the finish, and that's always going to be there. And when they step up and try to check the drive, now all of a sudden it opens up some spacing for the jump shot.
That deep 2 from Allen was the first basket outside the paint for NC State. McGusty pull up 3, can't connect.
That's one thing NC State, whoever gets the rebound looks to push the ball, and that creates easy shot opportunities just like that.
Casey Morsell drills it in transition, and the Wolfpack have its first lead of the night. A 7-0 run for NC State. And Miami, no field goals in the last 2.5 minutes, and the Wolfpack have capitalized on it.
And again, it's hard for right now Miami to get the ball into the paint, but they're settling for the jump shot. And that'll loosen up the defense a lot of times. And Mr. Miller, who says he really cares more about the team than his own stats.
How about this? A 3-point shootout is broken out in South Florida. Miami and NC State going punch for punch. It was Jordan Miller with his second 3 for the Hurricanes, and then Helms, the immediate answer.
Both of these two teams really love transition.
McGusty on the drive, so crafty. Cam McGusty gives Miami back its lead.
You know, that's what I was talking about at the top. He really reads situations well. The last time he got it, he went for the jump shot. This time he saw he could get all the way to the rim. He does a really good job of recognizing what he has and takes advantage of it.
Well short on that 3, tapped out of bounds. It'll stay NC State basketball. But the scoring is picked up. ACC play at the end of the year. Both teams craving a win. The Wolfpack on the road, finding the 3 ball. Well, he didn't know this was coming, but we're so happy to welcome Perry Clark back to the broadcast booth and back to Miami, where he was the Hurricanes head coach from 2000 to 2004. I'm going to put you on the spot, back here with the headset on, not down on the sidelines, but best memory in this building, because I know you helped. They opened it during your tenure here.
We beat North Carolina to open the building, and it was the day after our football team got cheated against Ohio State.
Oh, boy.
Overtime.
I don't want to open old wounds on the gridiron.
And it was a great victory. Our football program has done so much for us, and we would come out of here with a victory. It was a memorable night.
Well, Miami looking for another memorable night. Would be a 6-game winning streak for Jim Larrañaga's crew with NC State in town. The Wolfpack started 2 of 10. But they're 5 of their last 8 and have a chance to get the lead from the line here.
NC State's doing a really good job of getting to the rim, but they're not converting, I think, at a high enough level right now. They have to really do a good job of finishing.
Sunday, we have a terrific game on ESPN, 5 p.m. Eastern Time out of the American. Kelvin Sampson and Houston take it on Temple. Our coverage, 5 Eastern, 4 Central on ESPN and the ESPN app.
That's going to be a good one. Kelvin Sampson really got Houston rolling.
This game tied at 17. Both teams looking for a vital ACC win.
NC State has just changed their defense, and this is something that they like to do to keep you off balance, to try to create some turnovers, and to change the tempo. Kevin Keefe does a really good job defensively of keeping his opponents off balance. That's why his team scores so well off of turnovers.
5 seconds to shoot. McGusty from the corner, and he hits it.
He's incredible. Whatever you give him, he takes advantage of. We just saw him drive the ball to the basket and finish at the rim. This time, off of the spacing, he knocks down a 3.
McGusty, 9 of the Hurricanes' 20 in this opening half. We're only 9 minutes into it, and these teams have really started to heat up.
One of the things Miami is doing is handling North Carolina State's ball screen. North Carolina State used ball screens to get downhill, and that time they have a turnover because the posts are really doing a good job of hedging and jamming the roll guy.
Moore picked his pocket, and the freshman Bensley Joseph delivers back-to-back threes for Miami.
Again, that transition defense, when you play without a post guy, you really need to get in transition, get some good looks, and Miami does a really good job with that. Look at that defense. I mean, they're not letting NC State right now get into the paint. They're really jamming the drives.
Off-balance shot, another terrific defensive stand for the Hurricanes. Here's McGusty. Put it up, and Dane Gak throws it down.
Great drive off the bounce and get it to the big guy. Kevin needs right now a timeout to regroup.
Timeout, NC State, Miami on an 8-0 run. Jim Larenega's team on an 8-0 run. This capped it off before the NC State timeout. Dan Gak on a rack attack.
That's a way to get the young big guy in the game, get his spirits up, and get him excited. Great pass on the alley-oop.
Gak, who has just struggled with injuries during his college career, making his first start of the season. His season high coming into tonight, 6 minutes. He's already played 7, and Jim Larenega hopes to get a lot more out of him tonight.
Right now, you see NC State changed their offensive set. They went with the Iverson cut, and then they tried to go with the side ball screen instead of trying to get the ball screen up top, because Miami's done a really good job of handling the ball screens.
Contested shot again, long rebound, falls out to Bensley Joseph. Here's Charlie Moore. Lost the handle, 2-on-1. And there's your answer.
And that's what NC State does. When they struggle with their half-court offense, they turn up the defense and they get a steal. And Miami has to do a good job of handling the ball because they're playing such great half-court defense. They cannot allow NC State to get easy shots because of their defense.
NC State turning it up defensively. Up ahead, Sebron in attack mode draws the foul.
That's a great drive, but what you want him to do is come out of that with 3 instead of having go into the line and trying to get 2, because there was no one there to block his shot.
This is Terquavion Smith, the star freshman for NC State.
He's going to be a real good one. He plays with a lot of energy and his explosiveness offensively.
Kevin Keats hoping the partnership of Smith and Sebron is enough to carry this Wolfpack team. They've lost Manny Bates for the season, and that is such a big blow to Kevin Keats and his expectations for what this Wolfpack team could be.
Without question, it's the second year in a row that he's lost a key player, and you have to all of a sudden regroup in what it is that you're trying to do, more so from the leadership and style of play.
Tried to send it up to Miller, couldn't get the finish. NC State back the other way. Easy lay-in for Helms, and it's a 6-0 run for the Wolfpack. They punch right back. Timeout Miami.
Changing defenses. He went with the pressure, gave Miami a different look, and was able to get back in the game.
And it's a game of runs. You hear it all season long. Perry Clark Jalter with you. And no more so than the last couple of minutes. Miami goes on an 8-0 run, and NC State punches right back on a 6-0 run.
You know, and when you change defenses, it's not that these kids are not prepared for the change or the defense that they see, but being able to take advantage of it on each possession. And that time, Miami was able to attack the 1-2-2 and get an easy shot.
Jordan Miller has 8 points for the Hurricanes, being a lot more aggressive in this game. McGusty, he's been aggressive all season. Jim Larrañaga says he's playing with supreme confidence, and he'll be at the line for 2 when we come back. McGusty, one of the best scorers in the ACC, already has 9 points tonight, and he'll look to get it to double digits at the line when we come back. Season rolls on tomorrow with 4 games on ESPN, including Pittsburgh and Michigan State, 7 Eastern time on ESPN and the ESPN app. Pat Narduzzi, Pitt head coach, taking on a Spartans team where he ran the defense for 8 seasons. That'll be a terrific matchup tomorrow for 2 teams that had excellent regular seasons. Cam McGusty in Miami in the midst of a strong start to their regular season. A 5-game winning streak coming into tonight, and it's one thing to do it in non-conference play, but another to put it together in ACC play, and that's Jim Larrañaga's mission this season.
Yeah, being able to start the league with 4 home games, you really want to take advantage of that and make hay with it, because once they go on the road, their first 2 road games are at Florida State and at Duke. Neither one are fun venues. So I think their ability to play well here at home and kind of get a foothold in the ACC is really critical of what they want to do.
Contested 3. It's been contested shots all night long. NC State struggling shooting the ball, but that's their 7th offensive rebound. Trying to cash in on some second chance points, and they finally do underneath with Sebron.
I tell you, I've been really impressed with the way Miami defensively has played. They've walled up on the big guys. They have shut down a lot of the driving lanes, but they have to finish with defensive rebounds.
Here's Charlie Moore, pulls the trigger, can't hit it. Now Miami shooting 63%, NC State 38%, and yet it's just a 4-point game because the Wolfpack have 8 offensive rebounds. Count it, plus the foul. Jericho Helms on a mission tonight.
I tell you, Jericho has done a really great job. He has been the type of player coming in the NC State program that has been like a foundation. He's gotten better each and every year. I remember seeing him play in high school. He comes from a tremendous high school that has also given the ACC some other really good players. But this young man is quality. He works hard, and he's just gotten better each and every year.
And he leads the Wolfpack tonight with 12 points, leads all scorers. And you mentioned he's been a building block since Kevin Keats has taken over at NC State. Those are the stats to back it up.
And that's what you want to see, improvement and consistency in play, and he's given them that.
He's given them 12 points tonight. Certainly has the hot hand. Getting right to the rim, and it's been effective. Inside, in traffic, and a foul called. Ebenezer Tawana, he certainly has the height advantage in there at 6'11", and with Sam Wardenberg and COVID protocol for Miami, they've relied on Deng Gak tonight.
And Gak has done a really good job on hedging the ball screens, not letting the guard turn the corner and get downhill. And yet, NC State has not done a good job of finding their bigs when they've rolled because of the second line rotation for Miami so far has been pretty good.
Duwana delivers the lead to NC State from the foul line. Wolfpack shooting 20% less than Miami, but they've got the lead on the road in conference play.
And again, it comes from offensive rebounds. And again, they've done a really good job of changing defenses.
Miami gets it right back. Cam McGusty again.
He knows the answer for every question. I mean, and he plays with such poise. You saw him that time just take his time, tee the jump shot up. He knew what they were doing with the double teams. He really does a good job of reading the defense and wrecking it.
Great cut. Darion Sebron hammers it home.
That young man loves to play in the paint now. And we talked about that at the Open. I mean, he makes you play the game his way in the paint. He's not necessarily a real great three-point shooter, but he doesn't have to be when he gets in the paint and dominates like that.
Here's Wong on the drive, has a step, couldn't get the finish. Duwana got a piece of it. Here come the Wolfpack the other way. Allen off the window and in, and NC State has the lead back.
Coach Leonard, I was watching him on the bench. He was really upset because, again, transition, they were in position to make the stop, and one of the players went for a steal, and it opened up an easy jump shot that time.
In traffic, that's a tough finish from Isaiah Wong.
And that's where Wong is so good. I think he's really underrated because he comes up with plays like that. You know, he can initiate. He came out of high school as a scorer, and everybody thought he was a three-point shooter, but he's really much more than that. In fact, I think his mid-range game is probably the best part of his game, more so than even his three-point shooting. But he really has done a good job with his mid-range game and also being able to distribute the basketball. It's really, really paid off. And especially since Moore's come over to kind of handle a lot of the point guard duties, it's really freed him up to take advantage of his scoring.
Helms left open for three. Can't make Miami pay. Before that Wong make, Wolfpack riding an 11-3 run. We are tied back up at 34 with under 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in the half.
Again, you see the spacing and looking for the isolation in the drive. That's what Coach Larinaga has designed for this team, and they do a really good job of pacing the game to get a good shot off of the ball movement and isolations.
Batted out of bounds by Wong to deny Sebron the baseline.
You see Wong that time was on the baseline because the bigs have raised the floor. And so normally you have a big that's a rim protector, but because the bigs have been raised, you need a perimeter guy, a wing, to come over and help on the baseline drives, and that's what Wong did.
Sebron, the hesitation, lost the handle, ripped away by Charlie Moore. Here comes Miami in transition. Moore straight to the rack, blocked by behind, Duwana.
Duwana does a really good job with that defensively.
Another offensive rebound, make it two, and Darion Sebron continues to make Miami pay on the glass. That's now 10 offensive rebounds for the Wolfpack tonight.
Miami is going to have to find a way in the second half to answer that if they want to come out of here with the win. You just cannot give up that many offensive rebounds and hope to have the success that you want.
Those 10 offensive rebounds has led to 11 second chance points. So Jordan Miller fires right back. That's the transfer from George Mason's third three of this first half.
You know, he was on the conference call and they asked him about his stats and he just said, hey, I just want us to win. I'm not really worried about it. I think he's found out tonight when he makes threes, he really is helping his team because he is really playing well.
And NC State fires right back with a three of their own. This is back and forth in the ACC. High-scoring affair. Everything but the finish from Miller there. NC State really pushing the pace.
Again, they do such a good job in transition. Whoever gets the rebound for NC State has the ability to push the ball off the dribble. And so, therefore, you really have to get back and stop the penetration. And again, they get into the paint with Sebron.
Darion Sebron feasting out there for NC State. The threes have been flying for the Wolfpack as well. Looking for a road win in the ACC. The Wolfpack up 2 with 2:11 left in the first half. Now tomorrow we keep on bowling with 4 games on ESPN. We're featuring these 3 old rivals in game number 1, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. North Carolina, South Carolina, the Duke's Mayo Bowl. They're putting Mayo on the winning head coach of that game, and then Tennessee, Purdue, and the nightcap, Wisconsin and Arizona State. If you got, I know basketball doesn't have bowls, but let's say you were the head coach and the team wins the ACC. I mean, Mayo on the head, that seems a bit much.
That's a bit much. But again, that's the difference between football guys and basketball guys. That's normal for football guys.
He's former Hurricanes head coach Perry Clark. Jay Alter with you. A high-scoring affair here between NC State and Miami. Wolfpack started off just shooting 2 of 10, but they have picked up and made the Hurricanes pay. Helms misses that one.
You know, Jay, one of the things is where teams offensively start their offense from. And Miami has started their offense most of the time inside the three-point line, or the basketball has gotten there, which has collapsed the defense and created easier opportunities for themselves. As you see the drive that time, they missed the layup, but McGusty got the ball inside the paint and was able to make the next play.
When teams struggle offensively, most of the time, the basketball never really penetrates the foul line. And so it becomes much more of a perimeter game. And even if you wind up shooting threes, if you can penetrate the foul line and kick, you're going to get easier looks.
Now, Jim Laranaga's team shot the ball perfectly fine tonight, shooting 50% from the floor, and the defense has looked really good. The problem has been closing out possessions. 10 offensive rebounds in this first half for NC State.
You know, coming in, I thought that would be a little bit problematic, but in all honesty, I thought Miami has really compensated for that pretty well with how hard they've played defensively and the fact that NC State has not been able to take advantage of as many offensive rebounds as they've gotten.
This is Thomas Allen, pulls up from 3, can't connect.
See, I really think when you come off of that ball screen, you got to try to turn the corner and get downhill.
Offensive rebound this time for Miami. No good on the finish. Miller missed the bunny.
Again, right now, NC State is trying to work off the ball screen. I just think it's important when you do that. You've got to figure out a way to get downhill.
Now the freshman pass does just that. Drives through the lane, draws the foul.
One of the adjustments I look for Coach Keefe to make in the second half is to do a dribble handoff and then come up with the ball screen. When you do that, now you're giving it to a guy, he's already moving and he's got some momentum to get downhill and makes it a little easier. But I'm sure he's going to look at ways to get downhill a little easier than what they're doing right now, because Miami is doing a really good job of the way that they're hedging the ball screens and not allowing the NC State guys to turn the corner and get into the paint with the consistency that way.
I think the big question for Kevin Keats and Wolfpack fans is which NC State team is going to show up. I mean, this is a team that took the #1 team in the country, Purdue, to overtime. Really should have won that game, but then comes back to lose to Richmond and Wright State.
Well, people always ask you as a coach, how does that happen? And my answer to that, these guys are not machines that you can wind up and they perform the same way every time. And a lot of times as a college coach, you deal with a lot of things off the court that people really don't know that have an effect on the court.
You put those three results together, it's a 3-game losing streak for NC State, but they have come out inspired today. Elam's not happy with that call as he's charged with the foul. And Kevin Keats will be very happy with his performance. Again, 3 straight losses coming in. You're on the road in the ACC. Miami's on the other end of the spectrum. They're feeling good. They've won 5 straight games, and they're 16 seconds away from going into halftime with the lead.
Yeah, but, every game is its own individual entity. And so sometimes fans think, well, we're winning, we're going to continue to win. But it's the opponent and how you approach each game. And that's why people hear like Nick Saban and Jim and Coach Belichick, and they talk about staying in the moment and everything. And people think that that's just coach speak, but you really have to have the ability to do that because you have to keep the momentum and you have to deal with each situation individually.
That make McGusty has 16 in the first half. He averages a little over 18 on the season. NC State 1-point lead will hold for the last shot, under 10 seconds left in the half.
The thing is, both key guys for both teams have both played really well, and they played the way we thought they would.
Contested 3 goes begging at the buzzer from Thomas Allen, but really fun first half, back and forth like a heavyweight fight. Miami threw the first punch, but NC State has punched right back, looking for a key road win in the ACC, while the Hurricanes look to increase their winning streak to 6. 41-40, NC State has the lead at the half. Miami led by as many as 8 in the first half, but NC State starts the second half with the lead. Perry Clark, Jay Alter with you at Coral Gables as the Wolfpack trying to end a 3-game losing streak and earn its first ACC win of the season.
You see NC State is spreading the floor. They're looking to get more dribble penetration, and with that, they're trying to wind up locating and getting the ball inside to the big guys. One of the things that I told you that they would probably make an adjustment with is going more with the dribble handoff. And the reason I say that is when you have a hard time making an entry pass from the point to the wing, you try to find other ways to do that. You can do that either with a ball screen or you can do it with the dribble handoff. And the screening action was really not successful for NC State in the first half the way it has been, although they do have a lead, but that came off the offensive rebounding. So now they're going more with the dribble handoffs.
Now Kevin Keats has turned up the defensive pressure as well. Miami, we mentioned, had that 8-point lead. What changed is out of a timeout, Kevin Keats went full court press, and ever since then, the momentum's been with NC State.
Well, and people and fans want to know why that is, and because the emphasis, instead of coming off of scoring and running our offense, the emphasis becomes getting the ball up the floor. And so mentally, they're not concentrating on executing the half-court offense as much as they are just trying to beat the pressure or recognizing what the pressure is, and that changes the flow offensively.
And it's changed the tempo in the game as well. It's been a faster pace for both of these teams, and that has seemed to suit NC State a lot better.
It really has, and with that, again, that was an individual shot that time by Miller. It wasn't a flow out of an offense, and that's what you want defensively. And there goes that guy again, Mr. Sebron.
That time, the assister to Smith to knock down the 3. NC State largest lead of the game at 6. They have picked up right where they left off in this second half.
Yeah, I tell you, Smith is really a key guy as a freshman. We talked about him coming in. He's had some really good nights, and I know Kevin really likes the way he's playing, but again, you don't want to try to have to depend on a freshman to carry you like that.
Great hustle from Charlie Moore, giving everything he has. How about the hustle from Charlie Moore? And before that, we were talking Sebron, the facilitator.
I tell you, by the fact he can get in the paint, he creates so much for the other players. But I really think that one thing that has really helped Miami has been Charlie Moore. Charlie Moore has taken a lot of pressure off the point guard position. He's been able to penetrate and create for the other guys and get easier shots for some of the other players.
Right on cue. Passing to Wong. Back to Moore. 5 seconds to shoot. And draws the foul.
Yeah, it's good to have a point guard that can recognize when to pass and when to shoot. I learned coaching with Bobby Crimmins how important point guards are. That's all Coach cared about, was who was his point guard. And from that, we had Mark Price. We had,
I was going to say he recruited a bunch of good ones.
Kenny Anderson, Stephon Marbury, Travis Best. He believed in that point guard play now.
Deep three for the point guard, Charlie Moore. Off the mark, no good. Sebron so good for the Wolfpack because he can grab that rebound, take it up the court himself, finds Helms wide
That's
open.
What I'm talking about. Good call, Coach. Sebron brought it up, made the defense collapse, and was able to get the open three. And when NC State is able to do that, they're an awful, awful tough out because they have 3 guys, 4 guys sometimes that can bring the ball up and create the offense.
Jordan Miller counters with a tough take inside. That's a season high 14 points for the transfer out of George Mason.
I tell you, he's really recognized and stepped up and played well tonight.
Terrific first step from Smith. Everything but the finish from the freshman.
And that has happened to NC State a couple times.
What a take, and it was halfway down. Isaiah Wong went 1 on 4 and almost got a 3-point play.
I don't know if you're going to see better guard play than what we're seeing tonight. Wong with a great move on a crossover right there, did everything but finish. And but the guard play has really been good, both offensively and defensively, because I think both teams' guards have done a good job defensively in the half court. Transition is going to be the key to this, though. Both teams really trying to get out and run and create easy opportunities. Now Miami is stepping up. And now they're giving a little bit of pressure. And they like to say the best way to handle a pressing team is to press them.
Jerquavion Smith, a couple of hesitations, gives it up to Breon. Pass. Great feed inside, all alone. Nobody within the perimeter of Ernest Ross. Easy finish. NC State back up by 6. Going up high, one-handed. Anthony Walker rocks the rim. Immediate answer for the Hurricanes.
Again, getting up and down. And this is good coaching on both sides. You don't have a dominant low post player, so what do? You use transition, you get your space the floor, you get your guards to penetrate, and you get easy baskets that way in the paint that you normally would get from a post guy.
Here's McGusty. Hesitation, has a step, and uses it. Couldn't get the finish, though. Smith a 3. It's good! Jerquavion Smith buries it.
But Sebron, did you see again? He gets in the paint, collapses the defense, finds the open guy. He makes you play basketball his way.
5 assists for Darion Sebron at NC State's up 7.
You see the roll. You didn't get the second rotation that time, and it gave a very easy shot. And again, NC State with Sebron's pass.
Unfortunately, COVID wreaking havoc all across college basketball again. ACC dealing with postponements. There were supposed to be 6 ACC conference games today. 4 postponed. Syracuse brought in Cornell instead of Georgia Tech, and Louisville beating Wake Forest earlier today. And Miami dealing with COVID as well. Sam Wardenberg and Wugga Poplar in the COVID-19 protocol. And Wardenberg, he's a starter. Started every single game this season at 6'10". He would have been a disruptor, would have helped with the rebounding and the interior defense that Miami struggled with tonight.
Without question, he's a loss tonight, especially the way the game is being played.
There's some help on the glass. Exactly what Miami's been missing. Jordan Miller delivers, count it, plus the foul. And when he comes back, an opportunity to cap off a three-point play and extend what has been a season-high scoring night. The toughness on the glass, they'll need more of that from Miller as Miami tries to come back in this game down by 5. Sunday, we've got a really good American Conference college basketball game for you. Number 12, Houston taking on Temple in Philly. Our coverage begins 5 Eastern, 4 Central on ESPN and the ESPN app. And Jim Larinaga talking about Houston. Kelvin Sampson just 1 below him on the winningest active Division I coaches, 2 of the best to ever do it.
Without question, and both of them have worked in jobs where weren't great jobs. I mean, Jim was at George Mason, the job he did there, Bowling Green. So those aren't automatic wins, and he's done a great job building programs. And he's really into it tonight now. He is really trying to motivate his team, and he's been up at the timeouts and really trying to push them over the hump tonight.
Here's Hellups, fires a 3, can't connect. Battle for the ball. NC State has dominated the glass tonight.
But you can tell when the coach is talking about that, when you have the guard, Wong that time came back to help the rebound. When you see guards coming back in and help rebounding, you know the head coach has said everybody's got to rebound, not just the big guys.
Miami trailing by 4, 5 minutes into this second half. Trying to do too much there, Jordan Miller, and he turned it over.
And normally he's not on the ball to initiate, and so it might have been a special set call there because either Wong is on the ball or Moore is on the ball. Normally it's not Miller being the one that initiates.
Miami's trying to extend a 5-game winning streak, an extremely strong start to the season at 9-3. And a game at home, they feel like they should win against NC State, and the Wolfpack in a wide open ACC says, why can't we win this one? Try and get their season jump started after a 3-game losing streak. And they have won the 50-50 balls in the hustle plays tonight. Sebron delivers again.
Again, NC State is going with the dribble handoffs to help crack the defense to get the ball penetration.
Here's Anthony Walker in attack mode, draws the foul. We've talked about it all night long, Perry. Second chance points, the name of the game.
It is key, and again, you see NC State, I mean, they are relentless on that offensive glass, and it puts tremendous pressure on Miami in the defense. But it's how NC State plays, and they're playing to the character of their coach because it's something that Coach Keats has constantly pushed at them to be able to do to be successful.
NC State out-rebounded Miami by 12, and Kevin Keats' team, it's no secret, 12 offensive rebounds, so that's how you create that margin. Steal one on the other end.
And again, they space the floor, and they look to crack the defense and look to penetrate.
Miller got a piece of it on Smith. Great pass. Oh, that's the pass of the night from the freshman. Terquavion Smith turns a turnover into 2 points.
That was great poise. A lot of guys, when a shot gets blocked, all of a sudden they get it back and they feel like they have to do something with it. And he uses his pace, recognized, and got an easy layup for his team.
Here's Wong on the drive, hands it off to Miller for an easy 2.
Miller has really stepped up big for Miami tonight.
Season high 19 points. The immediate answer, Darion Sebron.
He just has a nose for the ball. I mean, he doesn't give up on any play. He really slides in there and crashes the offensive glass, and he just does a tremendous job with that. You have to put a body on him. Somebody on Miami's got to find him in every possession and put a body on him.
Here's McGusty, lost the handle. Up ahead, Sebron goes behind the back, settles it down. Finds Helms, who pulls the trigger.
It's important right now, I think, for Miami to get a good look on this possession.
McGusty had 16 first half points, none in the second half. Turnover swiped away. Here's Helms straight to the rack, and NC State cashes in a turnover for 2.
And now they're just going to heat up the pressure even more. That time they got too over anxious and came up with a foul, but you could tell the pressure's coming. Again, you see a steal and a good pace right there. They kept good space and they were able to get a layup. NC State likes playing with this pressure. A lot of times teams come up and play with pressure, but they don't give it 100%, go full speed at it. But NC State really likes to play with the pressure. Everybody's moving their feet, they're talking, they're doing their switching, and they're really doing a good job with it.
Wong's been quiet tonight, misses that one. Only 5 points for Isaiah Wong. NC State largest lead of the night at 8. Sebron again in attack mode, deflected. Here comes Bensley Joseph the other way, tripped up, fouled, and he'll get 2 at the line when we come back.
Again, Sebron does such a great job. There you see him with good spacing, gets the ball over, gets a layup right there, and he just does it all.
Now the 2 stars coming into tonight have delivered. Cam McGusty's 16. All came in the first half, though. It's Darian Sebron who is storming NC State in the second half.
He is, and one of the most impressive parts about his stat is 6 assists. And he's gotten most of those out of transition or in the half-court set where his penetration has created easier opportunities for his team, which then has created ability to offensive rebound because he's forced Miami to have some sort of rotation to stop him from getting to the basket.
How has NC State made the adjustment on McGusty? 16 points in the first half. He's only taken 1 shot in more than 8 minutes in the second.
Because I think NC State has been out of their flow. For the most part, Miller has tried to initiate the offense a couple of times instead of either Wong or Moore. And I think that has got them a little bit out of rhythm. And normally what Miami's good at is when they can come up with the dribble handoff and get some ball movement and then get the ball to who they want to get it to be able to score. And so far, McGusty has not been able to get the ball.
Pull up pop, Thomas Allen drills it. And just like that, NC State back up to their largest lead of the night, 8.
And coaches will tell you ball movement, player movement will get you easier shots. And I think we see NC State doing a better job right there of moving the ball, moving their guys. Again, you see Miami, everything is off the dribble. It's isolation right now. It's not a lot of penetration. It's just kind of one-on-one. And although it worked at that time, it's not normally a formula that allows you to have great success over a 40-minute period.
Back to a 2-possession game. Miami looking to extend a 5-game winning streak. NC State came in trying to snap a 3-straight losing streak. And it's with the Wolfpack that's looked like the better team in the last 20 minutes of this game.
That's not the shot Coach Keith wanted. And somebody's coming out because he went immediately to the bench. They're not a great 3-point shooting team. And to settle for a 3 that early in the shot clock is not, especially when you're up on the road, is not really what you want.
Again, now watch Coach Larranaga when they're out of bounds because they really like to try to get something where they can score off of it.
And they go to Miller, kicks it out, a three. Joseph missed it. Falls to Wong on the offensive glass. Isaiah Wong on a rack attack.
He always comes up with a play for them. Wong is such a constant competitor and so instrumental to Miami's success. That play really picks him up. Look at his athleticism and explosiveness. This kid can really play.
The reaction, too. Could that be the shot of the arm Miami's needed in this second half?
I tell you, I really think so. And now McGusty is getting ready to come back in the game. I told you Coach Larranaga's been around the block a couple times, and he's really calm, and he knows how to handle situations. He brought McGusty out, talked to him a little bit, let him watch the game a little bit to see how he can better utilize him. And let's watch and see the way now he responds coming back in this game.
Air ball. Midway through this second half, the NC State lead is stuck at 5. Trying to come in and get a road win in the ACC. The Wolfpack finished last season with 5 straight ACC road wins. It's tough to win in conference play, particularly on the road. Wolfpack have been road warriors with the lead. It's down to 3, one possession game.
It is, and I tell you what, if you're NC State, you played extremely well. You executed what you wanted to do, you offensive rebound, and all of a sudden you look up, and a big lead has gone to a 3-point lead with a turnover.
Here comes McGusty off the steal. Count it, plus the foul. Cam McGusty, a chance to tie the game at the line.
And that's the guy Coach Larranaga brought out, sat him, let him watch the game a little bit, talk to him a little bit, and he comes up with the big play and a great finish. Again, he shot the gap on the pass and kept his head up, went soft off the glass, and finished. But again, part of coaching is knowing how to handle your players and getting them engaged in how the game is flowing. And I think taking McGusty out, letting him see, as you point up, he only had 1 shot going so far, and getting him going has been a key.
It's a Miami 8-1 run. NC State's lead is dwindled to just a 1-point lead. Hayes, deep 3, rims out. Battle for the board, tracked down by Hayes. McGusty thought he kept it in play, and he would have delivered Miami the lead. Instead, it'll be Wolfpack basketball.
But again, the 3-point shooting, and coach encourages guys to look for the 3, but early in the shot clock, I just think that as well as NC State has been getting to the basket, that you really try to move the basketball around, reverse it a little bit, then attack instead of kind of settling for the 3. If I'm Miami, if they want to make 1-2 passes and shoot a 3, I think Coach Larranaga will live with that.
Explosive Allen, everything but the finish, couldn't get the floater to drop.
And again, now you see Wong, he's back on the ball, and I think Miami is really a lot more successful when either Wong or Moore are initiating the offense.
Here's McGusty on the drive, contact, no call. Helms has it for NC State. Right back to Helms in attack mode, straight to the rack, count it, plus the foul. Jarrett Cole Helms delivers again.
Helms is such a solid performer. I tell you, whether or not he's shooting a 3, or there you see him make a straight, strong drive, driving that slot, and that's a very, very tough play. And you see his physicality, keeps his head up, and when his team needs it, he steps up and he plays. They talk about him being the building block, and he's been a guy that coach has counted on in his tenure there at NC State.
And with that foul shot, 1,000 career points for Jericho Helms. Becomes the 55th Wolfpack player to do it. You mentioned pillar of the program for Kevin Keats, and he backs that up with 20 points tonight and 1,000 in his Wolfpack career. Wong. What a play.
That's why he is so tough. People think he's a three-point shooter. I think he's really great in that mid-range game. You know, he can penetrate, pull up before he gets that second line of defense and make you pay.
How much fun is this on a Wednesday night in the ACC? Two teams going punch for punch. Step back three. It's good! How did it drop? Terquavion Smith, the friendly road roll.
Freshmen have no fear. As long as you understand that, they have no fear.
Wong looking for the answer. He gets it.
Again, he's running the point now. Early in the game, he was playing off the ball more, had the basketball. Now, late in the game, they're putting him on the ball, and that's where he really creates magic.
Back and forth we go.
Miami has really done a good job of taking NC State out of their high ball screens.
Right down the baseline for an easy bucket from Thomas Allen.
Wait, I'm watching these two coaches. They're both really in it. Both of them understand how important this game is and how important it will be come March.
Hesitation, McGusty rims out. Walker goes up, and Miami cashes in on the offensive glass.
But again, McGusty, by attacking the basket, created a rotation that allowed an offensive rebound. Look at Coach Larinaga. He's really into this now. He understands how important this is. Normally he's calm and he's just kind of reading what's going on. I'm telling you now, these coaches understand the importance of this basketball game early in the season.
In a wide open ACC, NC State and Miami both in the search of a crucial conference win. NC State 3-point lead. Usually Jim Larinaga, calm, cool, collected, but this is the ACC. This is conference play, and Coach L is fired up on that Miami sideline. He knows how much this game means to this Hurricanes team.
It really does, and I tell you what, he still has that passion. Coaching will bring that out of you. It'll keep you young, and he understands that he has a chance with these home games to kind of get a foothold and give his team a lot of confidence as they go down in the ACC rest of the schedule. So he understands how important this is now.
He's asked about retirement almost every season here in Miami. Look at that clip. That man is not ready to retire.
This thing keeps you young now. This game keeps you young.
Great defense out of the timeout from Miami. They've lacked that on the last few possessions. NC State had made 5 of their last 8 before that air ball.
But I tell you, they've done a really good job of taking NC State out of their ball screening series.
For the tie. Oh, Isaiah Wong buries it.
Is he special or what? I told you, the difference has been they moved him on the ball. Early in the game, he was off the ball, and he was trying to assist and help. Now on the ball, he does a good job of recognizing his shots as well as getting other people involved.
Helms looking for the answer, no good. Miami basketball tied at 73. Buckle up for the last 5:41. This is going to be a fun finish.
Without question, and Miami's doing a much better job blocking out. Whenever you see guards blocking out, you know the coach has read the riot act at halftime, because guards don't normally block out.
Here's Wong. Step back, then leans in. Didn't get a good look.
He forced that a little bit. I think he was hoping to get the foul. He didn't get it. But again, he's attacking. Now, it's important right now for NC State to get a good look. Look for him to get the ball to Sebron.
Instead, in the hands of the freshman Smith. Tough take. No good.
Again, Miami's done a really good job of taking NC State out of their
ball screen action.
McGusty through the spin cycle, kick, wide open, it's good!
McGusty has such a feel for this game. He penetrated, he never looked to shoot the ball. He was always looking to get the ball to Wong.
Back-to-back threes for Isaiah Wong, fires Miami in front. First Hurricanes lead since the first half. It's an 8-0 Miami run, spurred on by Isaiah Wong.
I tell you, Wong's ability to make open shots and get the spacing, get his feet down have been absolutely critical. Now, NC State has to settle down. They have to lock in. They've got to come up with a couple good defensive stops and try to turn this momentum around. You see a change of defense. They come up with the pressure. Again, trying to make Miami have to work to bring the ball up, maybe get a turnover or get somebody else besides Wong taking a shot.
Here's Wong again on the drive. This time passes it off. The finish! Anthony Walker hammers it home. Miami back up by 3.
Coming into the game, we talked about Miami's guard play, and it has certainly stepped up right now and been the dominant factor in this game in their comeback.
For the tie. That time bounces out for the freshman Terquavion Smith. No field goals in the last 3:30 for the Wolfpack. It's allowed Miami to climb back into this game and grab the lead.
They have to get Sebron the ball. I think NC State needs to go through him with what they do.
The Isaiah Wong show continues. It's his world. We're just living in it right now.
I tell you what, his penetration has been tremendous. The way he's able to shift the ball as he attacks the basket so you can't block it has been critical.
Isaiah Wong, 15 points in this second half, and he has brought Miami to life. 5-point lead for the Hurricanes with 3:12 left in this second half, trying to close out what would be a 6th straight win. NC State led by 8 in this second half on the road, and then the Isaiah Wong show started. 15 points, and he has not only brought Miami back into this game, he's fired them in front. 5-point Hurricanes lead with 3:12 to go.
I tell you, he's done a great job on the point, initiating, and Coach L, you got to give him credit because he recognized that. He made the adjustment. Moore played well early, but he wanted Wong to wind up initiating this offense, and he's really done a great job.
NC State out of the timeout. Got a good look. Cam Hayes couldn't knock it down.
And again, the ball's in Wong's hands.
Wolfpack have gone more than 4 minutes without a made field goal. It's allowed Isaiah Wong and Miami to take control of this game. Wong passes out of the double team. Cross-court pass. Miller, he hits it!
Miller's having a night, isn't he? Everybody wanted him to step up, and he's really shown his maturity in stepping up tonight. But again, Wong found him.
A season-high 22 for Jordan Miller. A Cam McGusty foul after he read it so well. That's a clear path foul, a flagrant.
And again, this thing again turned when McGusty went out, and he got a chance to kind of take a look. You made a comment that he had not made a basket in the second half. They took him out. Coach L recognized that and then brought him back. And boy, is he playing.
Now hold on, they actually did not rule a flagrant foul, just a regular foul. I thought that was clear path on McGusty.
The referees normally don't call that. I mean, they are going to let him play. They're not going to try to decide this thing.
So Cam McGusty trying to decide it. Miami trailed by 8 earlier in this second half. Now an opportunity for the first double-digit lead for either team tonight. Auguste has 20.
One of the things Sebron has not, and you help me on that, but he has really not attempted a shot in a while. And I just think that they have to go through him and give him some shot opportunities in this situation. Now, he's very unselfish. He's been hitting the open guy. He's been getting good looks. But I think you have to run some things right now through him. And I know Coach Keats really wants to do that because he knows that's his guy.
Now they went to Sebron there, not only in the scoring department where he has 12 points tonight, but he has a season-high 6 assists.
I mean, he makes things happen. You know, in the ACC, you have a guy that can take over a game and make other guys on the team better and get them easier shots. And that's what Sebron does for NC State. And so the only way you allow him to do that is give him the opportunity to have the basketball. In the last 5 minutes, Sebron has not really had the opportunity to have the ball to make the other guys a little bit better.
Sebron's second half stats, 2 of 2 shooting, only 4 points, but he's only taken 2 shots. Walker rips it away. Miami's defense is clamped down. No field goals in more than 5 minutes for NC State.
Now Moore is back in the game to get better ball handling, which means Miami is going to really try to slow it down, move the ball around. The one thing I like with this Miami team, they really play well together. As a coach, that's one of the things that you notice and pay attention to. They like obviously they like each other and they play well together. You know, and I think that has been really critical tonight.
You want to talk about a second half adjustment made by Jim Larrañaga. His team is shooting 63% in the second half. They are limiting the offensive rebounds, only 4 for NC State in this second half.
Well, NC State, I mean, Coach Keith has done a great job. In his first 3 years, he's won 20 games. He's had to deal with some off-court stuff with the NCAA, which he's got taken care of. So he's had some hills to climb. But tonight, it was really, I think, Coach L and his emotion and his passion. He recognized his team needed that, and he gave it to them.
NC State, this game was slipping away before that Thomas Allen 3. 8-point game now. And Kevin Keats uses a timeout. He's got 1 remaining.
Expect pressure now. He may change up and go. Late in the game, I used to like to go more man pressure because you tried to deny the entry pass and put more pressure on them making the pass from out of bounds, inbounds. When you go with the zone stuff, a lot of times you can make the pass inbound, but then you do a hard trap. So Kevin likes to do the zone trapping, but I used to always like to do the man and try to deny and try to get a 5-second count or hurry people up, but pressure's coming.
Before that made 3, Miami had a 20-4 run in what was a 5-point lead from NC State with 7 minutes to play. Miami had turned it to a double-digit lead in favor of the Hurricanes, and now 1 minute and 35 away from starting ACC play 2-0 and making it a 6-game win streak for Jim Larrañaga.
And see, it's the zone pressure, so they allow the first pass and then you try to trap it.
Wong beats the press with ease. 15 points for Isaiah Wong in this second half, and smartly uses one of Miami's final 2 timeouts.
The first mistake he's made in the second half, he got a little too deep that time trying to beat the pressure and put himself to where the baseline, the out-of-bounds line worked as a defender, and they had to take a timeout so they didn't turn it over.
So they still have to close this game out. 1:27 left in an 8-point lead. Looking ahead for Miami, they'll be riding in on a 6-game winning streak, 2-0 in the ACC. Everything's in front of them for Coach Larrañaga's team to really claim that they are one of the top teams in the league.
Oh, without question, and they have some momentum before they have to hit the road at Duke and at Florida State, which are 2 of the toughest places to be on the road at. And so, they've got themselves in a really good position. But this ACC race is going to be tremendous this year because everybody understands how important home games are, how important conference games are, and everybody has one guy that can turn the tide with their team's fortune.
You know, tonight it was Isaiah Wong. They try and inbound it to Wong. Couldn't come up with it. NC State has life.
And that's what you don't want to do. That's exactly what you don't want to do, young fella. You don't want to foul. You have to make them earn every shot. Take some time off the clock.
Yeah, both teams are in the bonus. And for NC State to flip that, this is exactly what you needed to get back into this game.
Without question, you want to get fouled. You can go to the line now. You can make two and make it a two-possession game with a lifetime to play now. They've got a lot of time left to play.
Smith misses the front end of the 1-and-1. And Moore draws the foul.
And that's exactly why he came back in more. He's a veteran, been through the wars, and he's really, his ball handling has been good all day. So they've got him in to help calm things down and move Wong off the ball, because I think they feel he scored enough on the ball.
Well, you said that was the biggest adjustment in this game. Jim Larrañaga moving Isaiah Wong to the point guard position and letting him initiate.
It is, because, you know, again, I learned from the greatest, Bobby Crimmins, how important your point guard is. He's the guy that sets the tone. He's the guy that is the coach on the floor, and how he goes, not just athletically but mentally, your team goes a lot of times.
NC State has to hurry, trailing by 10. Elams airballed the layup, then grabbed his own shot and put it in. Kevin Keats uses his final timeout. 69 seconds left, trailing by 8.
And again, right now, Coach Larrañaga is going in, how we're going to get the ball in bounds. The key is against the zone trap. You cannot catch it in the corners to where the sidelines or the baseline works as another defender. And also, you can't catch it, and you can't just put it on the floor right away, because they're going to be swiping at the ball. You have to catch it and then look to make the next pass if you're going up against the zone, any type of zone pressure. And looking up the floor and not back at your own basket is another critical decision that you have to make with the basketball.
NC State out of timeouts. Miami has one remaining. As it stands, the hero, Isaiah Wong, who just took over this game in the second half.
Well, you know, I think that kind of jump-started everything and got his juices flowing. But he does a great job on his penetration and keeping his head up. And he has such a good mid-range game. And if you leave him alone, he can definitely bury that. But that's what he does, being able to finish in traffic. And that's a knack that separates him from a lot of guards. He can really do a good job of finishing in traffic. Again, it looks like NC State is coming out in some sort of zone trap.
They get it into Charlie Moore. Pressure comes in. Moore. Easy. That's how you break the press. You do it yourself and then hand it off to Jordan Miller, who raises his season high now to 22.
You can't foul. I can't express enough. I know it's going to drive Coach Larrañaga nuts, and in the film session, they'll go over that. And young Miller has had quite a night, and his contributions have been tremendous tonight, but you can't stick your hand in there and foul.
That time, the freshman Smith makes the front end.
This
1 of 2 at the line. That pressure comes in. Home run ball caught by Miller. Like a wide receiver coming back as the quarterback underthrew him. And Just a terrific night for Jordan Miller. Certainly the best game he's played in a Hurricanes uniform.
Without question, and I tell you what, he was here early for shoot around. We came in to kind of do a production talk earlier, and he was here at least an hour before Miami shoot around. And you can tell with in coming in here to the ACC, when he did his video stuff the other day, he's anxious, he's really committed to the team, and tonight he really stepped up his game and showed the type of contribution that he can make to this Miami ball club.
The transfer from George Mason, obviously a program Jim Larrañaga extremely familiar with, taking them to the Final Four. Gets a 25-point performance, which doubles his season high previous to tonight. Isaiah Wong splits the double team.
And again, he didn't catch it and put it on the floor. If he had put it on the floor, he probably would have turned it over. But being a veteran guard, he just kind of held on to it. And this is a great win for Miami.
At the top of your screen, you can see Darion Sebron grimacing in pain. He bends to his knees.
Yeah.
That's something to watch going forward for NC State as Miami caps off a 91-83 win. They'll improve to 2-0 in ACC play and extend their winning streak to 6 games. And that is the last thing you want to see if you're an NC State fan, is Sebron clearly in pain at midcourt.
I don't know if he has a cramp or he got kneed somewhere where you don't like to get kneed, but he certainly is feeling some pain, and it will be addressed, I'm sure, right after this game.
Something to monitor for the Wolfpack faithful. NC State falls to 0-2 in ACC play. Miami comes from down 8 points in the second half, ends up winning it comfortably.
Look at Jim Larrañaga. He pumped up. I tell you, I've never seen him that excited since he was an assistant back with Terry Holland, and they had Big Ralph Sampson, and they wanted to win the national championship, but he was really pumped tonight.
And for good reason. Isaiah Wong, a second half surge, delivers Miami. 6-game winning streak for the Hurricanes, 2-0 in ACC play. For our terrific ESPNU crew, former Miami head coach Perry Clark, Jay Alter saying so long from Coral Gables. Miami wins it 91-83.